I've held my voice back for so long. Recording voice notes. That would have been my worst nightmare at some point in time. The thought of playing back what I said, hearing my voice from the outside, because our voices sound different from the outside. Or at least that's what I always used to say. It's weird because it's almost like now it doesn't. It's like now my voice sounds like my voice, whether I hear it from the inside of my head when I'm speaking or when I hear it played back at me from a recording. It's quite fascinating, actually, because I attribute that to all of the shadow work that I've done, to the mending of my inner rifts, and to no longer rejecting that part of myself that speaks. So I live in the middle of nowhere, but somehow it's noisy here too. Like, our neighbor across the way is cutting down trees on his property. You know, he did it all last summer. It drove me crazy. Cats didn't like it either. Maze was going crazy, wanting to be outside, but not wanting to deal with the crazy annoying sounds that came from across the street of the trucks and the chainsaws and all that crazy mess. And oh my God, and the other neighbor up the road that, goodness, just loves to make a lot of noise on his motorcycle driving up and down the road just to make noise. I swear to God, it's just to make noise. I can't even deal with that. Ugh. Anyway, not important. My voice. Oh, my voice. You know, and that's part of it too, you know, not supposed to complain, supposed to be understanding, not supposed to make noise. Just, you know, take it. Just adapt. Oh, that's been me. Just adapt. Don't make a sound. I don't even know what I'm saying right now. Right, so voice memos, never something I would have done. I'd rather died than have to create a recording that I then have to listen to my voice come back at me. That horrible, awful thing that was like, oh, that's me. Gross. Yeah, you know, attached to that, I come back to 8-year-old me. We have this home video that I remember watching. Oh my God. You know, as a kid, I didn't mind being recorded. I wanted to be recorded. I wanted to be seen. Oh my God, I wanted to be seen. Oh my God. That little girl. The very first home video recording that we have, that the family has, when we first moved to the United States from Brazil, and my dad got a recording camera, those huge ones, because it was it was 1991 when we moved to the U.S., so it was one of those big ass cameras that you rested on your shoulder. Oh my God, yep. And I remember watching that video as an adult, as a 20-something-year-old, because my grandfather and my grandmother, they kept copies or kept the originals. I don't remember. I know my grandfather had a copy of all all of our home videos. Or maybe it was my mother that would like record a copy of it and send it to them. I don't know. I know that I remember living in Brazil in my mid-20s at my grandparents' house and rewatching these old home videos, and me seeing little 20-something-year-old me seeing little 8-year-old me and like cringing. Oh my God. It was so cringy. I couldn't take it. Oh, yeah, no, little 8-year-old me with her stuffed animal trying to be the center of attention, like, record me. Oh, hey, stuffed animal wants to talk to you. Daddy, look at me. Oh my God. Hi, daddy, look at me. And just trying to be seen. And 25-year-old me, or however old I was, 20-something-year-old me, wanting to like melt into the couch and disappear because she was mortified at how much of a little attention whore little 8-year-old me was, and like listening to my voice and being like, oh my God, kid, you're so annoying. Please stop. That is horrible. Oh my God. Yep. Oh God, that was so cringy. And honestly, because I think I watched a whole bunch of those old home videos. And as time progressed, as I watched subsequent videos as little kid me got older, instead of trying to hog the attention of the camera, I started to try to hide from it. And that was so much more comfortable for me to re-experience as a 20-something-year-old, rather than that little 8-year-old me who was so annoying. I mean, truthfully, she just wanted to be seen. She wanted to express herself. She wanted to share. She didn't want to hide. She wanted the attention. And I lost that. And as time passed, as I spent more time living here in the US, I lost that. I didn't want to be seen anymore. I wanted to hide. And that's not to say, that it's American culture's fault, it's just the difference, the cultural shock from coming from a whole different set of cultural norms and values and patterns and images. There's all of these rules and ways of being that we are unconsciously processing throughout our lives. And to go from one set of rules to another is jarring. It's really, really difficult. As an adult, I did move to Brazil for a while in my 20s. Like I said, when I was watching those old home videos, I was living in Brazil with my grandparents as a 20-something-year-old. But I had spent most of my life living, or, after we moved back to the United States when I was 8, I didn't go back to Brazil until I was 22, I think 22, something like that. So there was all that time in between that I was here in the US, and I acclimated myself to US culture, US custom, US images, rules, blah, 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 all the unconscious things that we take in from the culture and society that we are living in, especially as kids. And so totally lost my train of thought there. Right. So because I moved from one country to another, from these unspoken rules that govern the interpersonal relationships of one country to, oh man, okay, no, I know I was saying something else. I totally lost my train of thought there. Ugh. Okay, as an adult, there we go. As an adult, it's difficult enough. When I went as a 20-year-old and with all of my, almost adult cognitive ability, where I'm no longer in my formative years, that was difficult enough. To get even something as simple as writing a check was different there, from one country to another. And all of these little unconscious, unrecognized, these things that operate below the surface of our consciousness that we just pick up by being in a culture, being a part of the group in a country, in a town. It will, we just assimilate it, even if we don't really know that we're doing that. It's part of, they talk about different forms of processing information in psychology. And so this is part of the peripheral processing channel. It's unconscious. We don't realize that we're doing this, that we're taking this information in about how we interact and move through the world, and what is correct and what isn't, and how it happens, and all of this stuff. So imagine me, little 8-year-old kid, going from one country to the other. Oh my God, I remember when we were getting off the plane. When we first moved here, oh my God, I remember it so vividly. I looked up at the sign, the exit sign. And it's, it's so simple. I'd been learning English as well, but there's context. You don't necessarily just conversationally, and what you would talk to with a kid doesn't necessarily cover everything. So anyway, I remember sitting in the plane and we were getting out and I saw the exit sign. Now, it was written in Portuguese and in English because this was a Brazilian airline that flew internationally to the US. So they had both languages. And it said up top, it said saída, which is Portuguese for exit. And it said exit underneath it. And little 8-year-old brain was like, Egito, because that's how we would pronounce that set of words in Portuguese. And I was like, well, that's weird. That doesn't sound anything like saída. That doesn't sound anything like exit to me. Because to me, the word saída was what exit sounded like. So I don't know. I guess if you didn't grow up with two different languages, that may just sound like nonsense. But I remember seeing the word and thinking that was the strangest looking word, Egito. Why? Thinking like, oh, Egito, which is Egypt in Portuguese. And just being like, oh, that's weird. Oh, so yeah, thinking of little 8-year-old me who knew the rules of living as she knew them before. And then we moved to this whole other country and somebody pulled the rug out from underneath me because the rules of living, the rules of engagement, the rules of being a normal person completely changed. They were completely different. It's like I couldn't be the same person. So, yeah. And thinking back to the home videos and how after the first ones, I mean, I don't remember exactly how many home videos there were or how many years that particular transition took, but man, I think of that, actually. That comes up. I guess I don't consciously think of it, but yeah. I think of little 8-year-old me who wanted to be seen, and then soon after that, 9-year-old me is hiding from the video camera. Don't want to see that no more. And then 20-something-year-old me going like, oh my God, I wish 8-year-old me would shut the hell up. Stop doing that. Stop being annoying, child. Stop trying to be seen. Oof.